Welcome to Nat'l, a weekly podcast about the celebrations occurring on that specific day. There will be some we know too well and some we may not be as familiar with. Let's learn something new, eat yummy food, and have a great time. Today, April 13th, is National Lexico Day. Or should I say National Crisscross Words Day? That one's kind of a mouthful. But do you still have no idea what I'm talking about? Those were the first two original names of the board game you probably played at least once growing up, but that you now know to be Scrabble. That's right. Today is National Scrabble Day. Can you think of someone who has a Scrabble game in their closet somewhere, if it's not probably you? Because Scrabble is found in 60% of American homes.
Winters by the fire, summers by the sea. It's holidays and family. Yeah, it's Scrabble.
So how did Scrabble come to be? Well, what do you think of when you hear the words the Great Depression? A destroyed economy, many people jobless, homeless, and hungry. Well, Alfred Mosher Butts lost his job as an architect, so he used this opportunity to analyze one of his passions, games. He officially came up with the idea in 1933, but he spent the next 10 years refining Scrabble, and as I mentioned earlier, it went through a few name changes, but it was officially trademarked in 1948. But success didn't come right away for Scrabble. It wasn't really until Butts met James Burnett, who was a fellow game lover, and together they rented out a place in Connecticut, and with the help of some friends, they were churning out games by hand. At that time, they had to stamp the letters on each individual tile one by one. And kind of the worst part is that if you've played Scrabble, there's more than one of that letter. So not only did they have to stamp each letter at least once, they had to stamp some letters more than once, more than twice. I mean, I can't imagine how tedious that must have felt. And when they first started, they lost a lot of money starting out on their own. But that's confidence and dedication. Legend has it, as it said, it wasn't until 4 years later, in 1952, that the president of Macy's stumbled upon the game. He loved it so much that he put it in stores, and a year later, it was a success. After that, it just kind of continued to grow in popularity, and, well, here we are today.
It's rainy weekends you hope will never end. It's Scrabble, America's good time game. Yeah, it's Scrabble, America's good time game.
Did you know that there's a North American Scrabble Players Association? I guess I kind of wasn't surprised when I found out, but I really didn't know. The association is in charge of hosting the National Scrabble Championship every year. This year, the championship is in August and takes place in Indiana. For those interested, if you happen to be an expert at Scrabble, you might want to check in on this championship. If you want to find out more information, be sure to go to scrabbleplayers.org. Now, if you're a hardcore player, you definitely know that it's important to keep up with the official Scrabble dictionary. In 2014, the words selfie and hashtag and many more were updated in the dictionary. I kind of really like that, actually. I like that it updates, because the reality is that our language evolves, and it might seem silly that bromance is officially a word, but we're the ones who made it that way. So it would be weird if the dictionary didn't update to what we say every day. Now, it's been a long time since 1933. Scrabble's been going on strong for 50 years. But as any good game company would do, it realizes that we get bored of the same things. As time passes, Scrabble continues to try to evolve to keep us interested. So if you definitely love Scrabble but you kind of want to change it up, here are a few options. There's Scrabble Flash, which is an electronic version of the game, and you use the tech to build your word, and the machine also times your turns and displays your scores. It's very digital. If maybe you want to keep it kind of classic, but still change it up, there's Scrabble Turbo Slam, which is a kind of more of a card version of the game, and focuses on how fast you can create words. Do you maybe prefer grids? Because in that case, Scrabble Boggle would be what you're looking for. There's a grid of letters, and you have an X amount of time to find as many words as possible. Who knows where the next adaptation may lead? But here's another big question. What if words aren't exactly your forte? When it comes to most games, especially ones as specific as Scrabble, you really either love it or hate it. Me personally, I'm kind of on the latter side of that. But I'm aware that it's because I struggle with unscrambling words, or fitting words into certain spaces. When I look at the Scrabble board, I feel bombarded with a ton of different possibilities, and my mind just freezes. I see other people with the Z, a Y, an X, and for some reason they just make the word turkey and score 1,000,000 points. Just coincidentally, it's on a double word score, and it's just like, what? And the best word I can come up with is hey. So if you're kind of like me and struggle with doing well in Scrabble, then you might like this game I recently discovered. It's called Quirkle. To poke fun, I call it a game for the illiterate. Quirkle is not a new game. I wish I would have discovered it a long time ago, but nonetheless, I'm enjoying it now, and I'm loving it. Instead of using letters to build words, it focuses on creating a line of matching shapes or matching colors. It's a lot easier on the eyes, and the strategies are different. So if you hate Scrabble because you feel like you suck at it, you might really want to try Quirkle and challenge your Scrabble lovers and show them how your brain works. But I know, at the end of the day, today is National Scrabble Day. So if you haven't played in a while because you're too busy, maybe you're caught up in Words with Friends, make the time for friends and family and put the damn phone down and dust off that old Scrabble board and have some fun. Scrabble is more than just a game about creating words. Scrabble is an excuse for people to get together and remember that the best way to spend our time is with the ones we love. And if you ever get an idea for a game or a project you want to do, be more like Mr. Butts and don't sit on your butt. Get up and make it a reality. Before you know it, your product may be in the home of 60% of Americans, but you won't know until you try. Thanks again for listening. Feel free to subscribe to Nat'l wherever you listen to podcasts, and if by any chance you're listening on iTunes, a rating will definitely help bring this podcast to more listeners.